friends, today we're going to be working on Unit 2, Lesson 6, and you will need your spiral, a pencil, and your math packet with pages 87 through 88 available. We'll be working actually right off of this page today, and we'll be doing these together because guess what, mathletes? You are learning math today that you are going to use for the rest of your lives. This second grade math is no joke, and it is something that if you ask your parents or any grown-ups around you or even your grandma or grandpa, they will tell you that they do this kind of math almost every single day. It's amazing how important this math is. So if anybody tries to tell you second grade is easy or not important, oh my gosh, they have forgotten what it's like to be in second grade because you are learning such important stuff today. So we're gonna dip our toe for the first time into this big new math, all right? It's going to be really important today that first of all, you have a pencil. Second of all, that you try to be as organized as possible. And so that means that we're not drawing our ones like in clusters, that our tens aren't like all messy. We need to make sure that we're drawing those as neat as possible to keep track of what's happening in our equation. They only give us this little tiny space here. Therefore, if it feels better for you to draw your work in your math spiral, you can do that. I am just fine with that, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and use my math spiral because I wanna draw a little bit bigger than the space allows for in this picture. I want you to try and draw your math pictures, your proof drawings, a lot like mine. And just as a reminder, when we are drawing the pictures of the hundreds, tens, and ones, those are what the proof drawings are. So when I talk about a proof drawing, it just means that we're drawing those hundreds, tens, and ones. So let's get started right here with number 1 on page 87. Mr. Green puts 56 red peppers in the vegetable bin. Mrs. Green puts 28 yellow peppers in the vegetable bin. How many peppers do they put in the bin altogether? Okay, so we're just going to add the red peppers and the yellow peppers. And I'm going to do a lot of heavy support this time. And we're going to stop and check in with each other just so that I know that you are doing this in the way that I'm asking you to do this as we're dipping our toe in. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out those two numbers that we're going to add together. So 56 plus 28. And if we look right here, we can immediately tell that that adds up to more than 10, but we can't just write 10 down there. That's not going to work for us. So what we're going to do is draw a proof drawing right next to it. And you can kind of imagine that there's a line that goes in between the 56 and 28. It doesn't actually have to be there, but you're going to imagine that there's one there because we're going to draw 56 up here, and then we're going to draw 28 down here. And I'll show you what that means. And you're doing this with me. So I'm not doing this by myself. We are doing this together. So by now, you should have written 56 plus 28 either on your paper or in your spiral. I'm going to count to 10 on my fingers, and you should have that done. 56 plus 28 in either of these places. I'm not going to count out loud because that can mess you up. I'm just going to use my fingers. Okay, so that was 10 seconds, and that should be enough time for you to have this written on your paper. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break this into pieces and draw 50 and 6, then 20 and 8. Okay, so if we look at 56, just 56 right here, I know that I have 5 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remember, you're doing this with me. I'm not doing this by myself, and 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down below, I have 28. So I'm going to draw 2 10s and 8 ones. Did you notice that I drew the 10s in one area so that they are all stacked on top of each other? And I drew the 1s all in one area so they're all together? Well, there is a reason for that, my friends. So you should have this on your paper now too. And it's very neat. Each of my circles is on its own. Each of my 1s is on its own. Nothing is squished together. So right now, I'm just going to go ahead and count these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'm going to write this down here. You don't need to write that 14. I have 14 right here. That means that I have 1 10 and 4 1s. So what I'm going to do is I am going to draw a circle. I'm going to ring 10 of these. So there's 8 down here, and I need 2 more. And this is why we're drawing these on top of each other. So those ones, if I were to stack them up, would be a 10 stick. So I'm going to cross those out. And over here, I'm going to put a new 10 stick. So because those all added up to 10, I get to make a new 10 stick with it. But it's really important that I have a tidy little loop around it and that I X that out. Because these are no longer 1s, this is now a 10 stick. I know I'm going fast here, but does that make sense to you? Give me thumbs up if that makes sense. Thumbs sideways if you kind of get it, and thumbs down if you're very confused by it, and I will pause. All right, so moving forward, we can now, I'm going to get rid of this since that was our original total. Now we have 4 1s over here, and we made our new 10 stick right there. So now we can just count this up. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84. So our total is 84. 56 plus 28 is 84. Now, of course, I want you to put this number in here. So there's 84 vegetables. So I want you to put that answer over here, but I want to see a picture of your drawing when you turn this in. Okay, the next one right here. Mrs. Green stacks 43 tomatoes. Mr. Green adds 39 more. How many tomatoes do they stack in all? So we're going to do the same thing where we're going to make our 10s and 1s, and we're going to add them together, and we might make a new 10. So let's do this again. I'm going to pause a little more often and ask you guys to help me out instead of just doing it and checking in with you. All right, so we've got 43 and 39 that we're adding together. So I'm going to make a line right here so we know that I'm done with that. But I can still look up here and use this to remember what I did. So all together, we're writing 43 plus 39. And remember, you are writing this too. I'm not doing this alone. You're working with me. Okay, what do I do now? Yes, we're going to draw 43, and we are going to draw 39. So how many 10s do I have right here? Yep, we have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many 1s am I going to draw next to my 10s? Yes, we're going to draw 3 1s. Okay. How many 10s am I going to draw right here? You got it. 3 10s. And how many 1s am I going to draw right here? Nice. 9. Okay. Last time I did this, I counted up all my 1s and I made a new 10. What do you think we're going to do this time? Right, we are going to count all of these up and see if we have 10 or more 1s. So are you ready to count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 1s over here. That means that we have a what? You're right, we have a new 10, and how many are left over? Good job, we have 2 1s. So I'm gonna pop over here and make, first I have to circle. So I have 9 here and 1 more right there. I'm gonna X that out and put my new 10 over here. So now I have that fresh new 10 that came from that right there. And now we're gonna count them all up by 10s and then 1s. Are you ready to start? Do I need to wait for you to draw and do your circling and crossing out? Okay, let's go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82. So our total is 82 tomatoes. Friends, it's also important for me to remind you that when we're counting, it's important that you whisper count with me. I know that that might feel silly at home by yourself, and that's why you have your study buddy. Or maybe you need to tell your grown-ups that you're with that you need to go to an area where you don't feel so self-conscious. It's important that you say that out loud with me so that you practice. Let's see. I think we're going to stop right here for today. And we will pick this up again tomorrow. Today, I want you to take a picture of this and show it to me. Thanks, friends. You worked really hard. This is a lot of new learning for your brains, and you are growing brighter and brighter and brighter, and you're learning really important stuff. Keep it up.